Imagine knowing absolutely nothing, not one thing, about the TV show you're about to watch. You don't know the plot, you don't know the premise, you don't even know if the main character is male or female, or what his name is. This hasn't been the case in many years now. We usually know 50% of what we're about to see months before it's even out. Between fake news, leaks, and speculations, half of the pleasure of watching something new is taken away from us. Trying to figure out what is about to happen in a show is probably one of the best parts about entertainment, especially in TV shows where characters get to have a lot more time to be developed, and you get more time to understand them and love them. Take Dexter, a show that is controversial in many ways, and didn't get as much love as it should for the themes it explores. It might not be a story for the faint of heart, which is a shame because it could be taken as an example of incredible storytelling, for the most part at least.
Tonight's the night. And it's going to happen again and again. Has to happen.
Dexter is a serial killer, and that is all we know from the first few seconds of the pilot. He is hunting down a certain Mike Donovan, a person we know nothing about. You can actually feel sorry for him for about a minute, until the next scene when it's clear he's an awful person. Soon after we find out Dexter targeted him for a reason, the first piece of the puzzle is out in the open, and that's the first time you'll analyze what you're seeing and get your brain working.
Open your eyes and look at what you did!
Look or I'll cut your eyelids right off your face.
Dexter is adopted. He has a boat and lives alone in Miami. We are about to be introduced to most of the other characters one by one, with a short scene for all of them which tells us a bit more every time. The first one on the list is obviously his sister Deborah, which plays an important role in his life for many reasons. With her introduction, we get a glimpse of their lives in the homicide police of the most famous city in the Sunshine State. Much like Gotham for Batman, the city of Miami could be considered as a character itself in a story that probably wouldn't be as effective if it took place anywhere else in the world. In Dexter, every character has a purpose and a separate storyline going on. For the first time, we see Mazuka and Angel Batista, two colleagues of him who are working a crime scene. Vince only needs to speak a few words to tell us about himself, and somehow, however unsettling the situation might be, it feels like those are the right things to say for a person like him.
It's a nice haircut, Masuka.
Sorry, sister. Damn, looking hot.
Yeah, she should. It's hot as hell out here.
The first murder of the story is presented to the viewer as if it were a painting, which is exactly the way Dexter sees it. He is amazed, and we are intrigued. We want to get to know him and understand why he does what he does. The way Dexter is narrated is unique. The music, combined with the slow motion scenes, make you think a bit longer about what you just saw and the way he might feel. We seem to enter the thoughts of a person who clearly has a tragic past and a difficult life.
I wish she'd stop that. It's one of those mating rituals which I really don't understand. But that bloodless body... This guy may have exceeded my own abilities.
We often see just a simple event triggering Dexter's mind into thinking about himself.
Just like me. Empty inside.
The combination of humor and tragedy works perfectly while introducing Dokes, an angry cop who gets bad vibes from our protagonist.
The only real question I have is why, in a building full of cops, all supposedly with a keen insight into the human soul, is Dokes the only one who gets the creeps from me?
Harry Morgan, Dexter's foster father, is in a way the leader of the show. His choices made Dexter who he is now. He lives in his head, and between memories and suggestions, he dictates every action of our protagonist.
Why didn't you?
I thought you and Mom wouldn't like it.
Putting the pieces together in a TV episode is not as easy as it seems. The transitions need to make sense. Everything needs to happen smoothly and with good timing, which is definitely one of the strengths of Dexter. How can a person like him conduct a normal life, care about people, and have human relations with a world that doesn't understand him?
But I have to play the game. And after years of trying to look normal, I think I met the right woman for me. She's perfect because Rita is, in her own way, as damaged as me.
Rita is a damaged woman who needs someone to rely on, while Dexter needs someone who doesn't question him too much and is too busy dealing with her own problems to realize who he really is.
but not her.
After Deborah suggests to look for a refrigerated truck around the city, thinking our mysterious killer might be using one to keep the bodies cold and drain their blood, Dexter seems to be the luckiest person around and finds it right away. However, what could be passed off as a plot convenience turns out to make a lot more sense, considering it's the truck or whoever might be in it to have found him. Dexter returns to his lonely apartment after a long night and thinks about what just happened, and so does the viewer. The ending of the episode feels like the second piece of the puzzle is put together, as we understand that those are not just coincidences, but story unfolding and being ready to be discovered not only by the viewers, but by Dexter himself as well.
I suppose I should be upset.
Dexter's pilot episode, to me, is a perfect example of how to create something intriguing while introducing characters we know nothing about. We learn to love them and we want to know more about them in very little time. All it took was a slice of life.
Hey, wanna play? And yes, I wanna play. I really, really do.